A 5-year wait, 92 minutes long, double album, and an 18-minute track? I knew this album was going to be good. How you going, guys? Ik ben Vulgaris, and yes, all that from the list before can only mean one thing. Iron Maiden are back, and they have released one of the best albums of the year. Let's just get straight into it. Anyone that knows me knows that I am one of the biggest Maiden fans they've ever met. So like, when they released The Book of Souls, my heart raced. I remember it, I was walking to work on September 4th, I bought the album before work, I took it to work, and of course, I couldn't play it there. So I took it home, and I just stayed up till like 3 in the morning just playing the album over and over before it like fully sunk in. It's very easy to say this album was worth the 5-year wait. It's only like, it's 11 tracks, which is quite good, you know, it's a good standard length, but how many albums do you know that where it takes 92 minutes to do 11 tracks? That's averaging 10 minutes a song, pretty much. But no, like I said before, it's a double album, so it's split up. You've got an 18-minute song on the end at the end of the album, which is absolutely phenomenal. We'll talk about that in a minute. You've got your standard singles. There's about 2 or 3 hopeful singles in the album. One of them has already been out, and then you've got your standard, just straight Steve Harris type songs with the junk chugga junk chugga junk chugga junk, the nice Mariner sound. You know what I mean? So because this album's quite long, there's a lot going on with each track. Let's just dive right into the track selection, and we'll go from there. Righty team, track 1 is called If Eternity Should Fail, and immediately it opens with a nice D minor-y toccata and fugue type sound, and it's like, ooh, it's got a nice, like, there's a nice atmosphere going on. It's almost as if the music itself is saying, it's time, sit down, you're going for a ride. And then of course the drums kick in, and the whole band comes together, and it's a nice opener. It's very, very strong. The lyrics are powerful. Bruce, after what happened to him just before, does an absolutely phenomenal job from start to finish on this entire album. So yeah, If Eternity Should Fail, the lyrics are deep. It's about an 8.5 minute song, I'm pretty sure. It's like 8 minutes 30 something maybe, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, like 8 minutes for an opener. So that Final Frontier-y vibe, but not so much space. It's more Mayans and jungles and almost tribal, if you like. But don't worry, they haven't replaced Nico for a bongo player. Track 1, If Eternity Should Fail, 8.5 minutes, gold. Track 2 is called Speed of Light, and if you're like me, you'll definitely agree that this is the weakest song on the entire album, which is probably why it's the single, because Maiden have a knack for releasing their worst songs as their singles. So when that song Speed of Light was released back in August, and I heard it, and I was like, nah. The video was cool. I did like the video, but the song didn't worry me, because I knew there'd be more. It's Iron Maiden, for God's sake. They are the best band in the world, and so like, you can't judge an entire 92-minute album off one 5-minute song. But once you listen to it over and over, you think, okay, yep, it's not too bad, but it's not as good as what's coming up next. Track 3 is called The Great Unknown, and this one is actually really good. I really like this song. It's one of the quicker ones. Well, I say quicker, it's 6.5 minutes, so like, but it starts with a nice quiet bass thing, nice little bass lick, and then the guitars come in, and it's got I'm a sucker for melodies that get higher and higher and then they drop. So this one's that. The vocal is cool. The chorus is powerful, but yeah, I just like the way it runs. It's very smoothly run with a clean intro, the big bit in the middle, and then a clean outro again. And for 6.5 minutes, it's good that they didn't drag it out for like 20 minutes like they normally do. But yeah, And then you got track 4, which is The Red and the Black. Now this song immediately to me sounds exactly like Mariner, with a few variations. It's 13.5 minutes like Mariner is. It's got that same triplet chuggity horse feel like Mariner does, but the vocal line is different, good, and it's got the guitar playing over that vocal melody. So it all ties in together really well. And when I first read the lyrics to Red and the Black, underneath the title it's got written just Harris. So like immediately straight away you knew that this one was going to be good regardless, because you look at every other song in Maiden's past that has just Harris written on it, I guarantee it'll be one of your favourites. And then there's a song after that called When the River Runs Deep, and epic title, really really good. And this is actually one of the quicker ones as well. This is just under 6 minutes. Maybe a single, I'm not too sure, but it's not my favourite. Like, when you hear it, I'd skip it, but after a while, get into it, it'll be all good. And, but like, yeah, it isn't overly good, in my opinion, but give it a listen, and, you know, we'll see what you think of it. And then the last track on disc 1 is the title track. It's called The Book of Souls. It's the second longest, whopping at like 10 minutes something. 10 minutes 30. Again, we're going with the 30s. This one's good. It's nice and long. If you know A Matter of Life and Death and you like the legacy, yeah, this one starts with a nice acoustic intro, a nice melody intro, not a chord one, and it's cool. It gets dragged out, and it gradually builds up like most Maiden songs. And the vocal lines, it's great, very high pitched. Well, not very high pitched, but very going upwards and stuff. It's the intro and the outro. They're both very eerie sounding. It's like it almost sounds like something out of X-Files, but don't take that away with you. And that's disc 1. Personally, I think disc 1 is better than disc 2, but the Mammoth Empire of the Clouds on disc 2 makes up for the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? So if you dive straight into disc 2, you start with another single potential called Death or Glory, another 5-minute song, and again, single, nothing too flash. Nice heavy intro, drums are going, there's a guitar picking going on, and then it's kind of like Death or Glory. It's a triumphant song, so like, yeah. But same with the Speed of Light. It's nothing too flash, nothing on it that makes you go, buddy, that's pretty good, but it is pretty good. The next song is called Shadows of the Valley, and this one is probably my favorite on the second disc. It's 7.5 minutes, and the only reason I like it so much is because I think he sings about ravens and stuff, so I don't know if he's singing it through a pagan's point of view, but I like that stuff, so this one's pretty good. And the vocal line is good. The lyrics, again, they're deep, and there's a beautiful melody line at the end where he sings about going into the valley of death, and it's just like, yes, that one's good. I like that. Let's rewind that and play that again. 7.5 minutes or so. Doesn't feel like it. That's the key thing about this album. They've got such long songs, but you listen to it and before you know it, oh, we're on the beast already. But we're not there yet. The next song is called Tears of a Clown, which is about the late and the great Sir Robin Williams. I don't even know if he was knighted, but he should be. You read it and you think, that's sad. It is sad. It's a sad song, but it's not a sad played song. Like, the lyrics and the themes are sad, but it's not like a doom song. It's not. It's very good, but it's actually the quickest song on the entire album at a whopping 4 minutes and 59 seconds. So maybe single? Who knows? This next song is my least favourite of the entire lot, I think. Even worse than Speed of Light, in my opinion. It's called The Man of Sorrows, which is a shame because it sounds really, really cool and it has the potential to be really, really great. And I bet it is great to someone else, but it's just not great to me. Nothing's in it that makes me go, that's cool. But I'm sure if you asked me again in 5 months' time, I'll be like, you know what, I don't even know why I didn't like that song. But as of today, it's, yeah, not really for me. But it's alright, don't worry about it, because what's coming up next will blow you off the... it'll blow you. And it is called Empire of the Clouds, and is the longest track in Iron Maiden's discographical history. It's the longest... yeah, it is the longest song they've ever done, at a whopping 18 whole minutes long. And it's about the airship tragedy back in 1930, the R101. Anyone who listens to Maiden knows that Bruce is a fanatic when it comes to planes and flying and all that kind of stuff. So it made sense for him to write this. And that's funny, yeah, I read this. It had Dickinson under it, and immediately I was a bit frightened, because it's not done by Harris. What's this gonna be like? And it's completely everything you would not expect from an Iron Maiden song. Get over the fact that it's 18 minutes, but it starts with a damn piano, which is cool. Pianos are nice. And it starts with pianos, a nice little melody, and the guitar, clean guitar outlines it, and then you got a violin and a cello and all this stuff, and before you know it, you've got 4 movements, and like movement 1 is over and the lyrics have come in, and it's just like most Maiden, it's just a story. It's just reliving the airship's tragic day from as soon as that final day starts. It talks about takeoff, it talks about flying and how great it is. There's a sinister part where they enter a storm, and then there's a bit where it crashes, and then there's a bit after the crash, and it's 18 minutes, I can't say it enough, but it doesn't feel like 18 minutes. It's crazy how they can do that. Like, I reckon if you're a Maiden fan, you've got no problems. If you're trying to get into metal, maybe don't listen to that track first. Absolutely fantastic song though. And then you've got the overallness of the album itself. The Book of Souls was anticipated so much since it was released that this is what it's going to be called. We got told it's a double album, we got told there's an 80-minute song, we got told it's 92 minutes. You just think, oh, this is going to be great. And it is the best album they've done. People ask me what's your favourite Maiden album, and I actually can't tell them, because I love different albums for different aspects. I love the first one because it's the first one and it has my all-time favourite song on it. I like The Beast because it's got Hallowed on it. I like Dance of Death because of this song, and Matter of Life and Death because of that song, and Brave New World because of that song. And people are saying it's better than Power Slave, which I would hands down agree, and people are saying it's better than Seventh Son, which I would most certainly agree, because Seventh Son is not my favourite in any way. Nah. But if you're a Maiden fan and you haven't heard it, get into it. And if you aren't a Maiden fan and you want to get into it, then do it! Just make sure you've got a spare hour and a half. You need to listen to this album in its entirety. Don't stop it after 3 tracks and think, right, I'll come back later. Nah, don't do that. The artwork is cool. The artwork looks like a Mayan figure, Eddie and a Mayan figure. So like the Mayan 2012 type thing, but it's got nothing to do with Armageddon. It just looks really cool. So like overall, guys, this is a very, very good album. It's a long album. Excuse me. It's a long album, but it's so worth it. I recommend going to listen to it right now. Immediately recommendations. The Red and the Black are great. The Valley of the Shadows is great. So, and the Empire of the Clouds is great itself. So, enough hanging around here. Get off this video and go and listen to it.